Have you ever felt like something was watching you when no one else was around? This is my story. It happened 3 years ago, and to this day, I can still feel the chill of that night. It was late October, and I had just moved into a small house on the outskirts of town. It was a beautiful old place, with wooden floors, creaky stairs, and a charm that felt almost too good to be true. I got it at a steal of a price. The realtor said the last tenants had moved out suddenly, but I didn't think much of it at the time. The first few nights were uneventful, but on the fourth night, something changed. I was sitting in the living room, reading a book, when I heard it for the first time. A faint whisper. At first, I thought it was the wind, but then I realized it wasn't coming from outside. It was coming from the corner of the room. It was too quiet to make out the words, but it was there. A voice, almost like it was calling my name. I brushed it off as my imagination and went to bed. But just as I started to drift off, I heard it again. This time, it was louder, closer. The whispers seemed to come from the hallway. My heart was racing, but I told myself it was nothing. I got up, turned on every light in the house, and checked every room. Nothing. No one. The next day, I decided to explore the basement. I hadn't been down there since I moved in. It was dark, damp, and smelled of mold. In the corner, I found an old trunk. It was locked, but the key was taped to the underside of the lid. Curious, I opened it. Inside were old photographs, letters, and a small, leather-bound journal. The journal belonged to a woman named Eliza. She wrote about strange occurrences in the house, about hearing whispers and feeling watched. Her last entry was chilling. He's here, watching, waiting. Startled, I turned around, but nothing was there. The trunk's lid slammed shut on its own, and I felt an icy breeze sweep through the basement. That night, the whispers became impossible to ignore. They weren't just in one room anymore. They were everywhere. I could hear them in the walls, in the floor, even right behind me. And then I saw it. A shadow, tall and thin, standing at the end of the hallway. It didn't move, but I could feel its eyes on me. I ran to my bedroom and locked the door, but the whispers didn't stop. They were inside the room now. I could feel something standing at the foot of my bed. I didn't dare look. And then the whispers stopped. Silence. It was worse than the noise. And then I heard a single word clear as day. Run. I felt the weight on the bed shift, and before I could stop myself, I peeked out from under the blanket. That was the worst mistake of my life. It wasn't human. Its eyes glowed a sickly yellow, and its mouth was too wide, filled with rows of teeth. It just stared at me, unblinking. I didn't need to be told twice. I grabbed my keys and ran out of the house. I didn't stop until I was miles away. I never went back. I left everything behind. A few weeks later, I found out that Eliza had disappeared, just like the tenants before her. The house, it's still there, waiting for its next victim. A new family moved in a month later. I've driven past the house a few times since then. I try not to look, but every time I do, I swear I see someone staring out of the upstairs window. Have you ever experienced something you couldn't explain? Share your story in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this tale, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more chilling stories. Until next time, sleep with one eye open.